Hey YouTube, how is it going this Monday? Well, in this video, I'm going to be doing an update on Torchlight, ticker symbol TRCH. I've had a bunch of questions on this one, and it's making a pretty nice looking chart pattern, so I want to go over that. And then I'm going to get into your other questions. Now, if you're new to my channel, I've been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in every video, I'll show you some of the potential trades and investments that I see setting up. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. And I also have a Patreon group, so if you would like to be a part of our community and see what we are buying and selling in real time, that link is in the description. All right, so let's dive into these charts, but first off, just a couple things. Number one is, of course, I am not a financial advisor. Please do all of your own research before buying any stocks you see in my videos. All of this is just my opinion for entertainment purposes only. And number two is, if you could help me out with the YouTube algorithm and gently like that smash button, I would greatly appreciate it. It does take me a little bit of time to put all of this together. So that is all I ask for in return, but please do it very gently. No need for anybody to get hurt on this channel. Safety first. But with all that being said, let's get into Torchlight. This one was by far the most requested, so there must be some news building up in Torchlight, some momentum building up, and you can definitely see it in this chart. You can see it just came off of this bottom right around $1.25, made it to a high of right around $2.50, and is pulling back into this triangle consolidation. This is a very bullish pattern. Once you see a stock that is trending down, make a sharp reversal, and then start making one of these triangle consolidation patterns, this can very often lead to a breakout to the upside, and it might be doing it as I am making this video because it looks like it's busting above all of these moving averages, and if I had to guess, I would say the bottom is probably in on Torchlight, and I might end up buying some of this after I get done making the video. I've been staring at this thing all day because I've been reviewing some of the questions, and this one just keeps popping up, and plus so many people requested this video. It's making me think that there's definitely some momentum building up in this stock. But if we zoom out just a little bit, we can see this clearly defined level of support right here, right around $1.50 to $1.60. Actually, probably call it 165 to maybe 175-ish. Now, it had that break below it for just a few days and had that sharp reversal. Now, from false moves come fast moves. And you can see once it had this false break, you had a nice fast move from right around $1.25 or $1.30 or so, all the way up to almost $2.50. So right around a doubling in a little over a week. So once you get these clearly defined support levels and you see a break and then they come right back above it, those are usually pretty tradable bottoms. But anyway, the stock did come all the way back down and test that support level again, bounced off it again. So it's showing you that there is definitely some buyers in this area right around $1.65. Continued making this triangle consolidation, and now it looks like it's blasting above those moving averages finally. Now let's go intraday and take a closer look at this consolidation. If I back it out just a little bit, you can see how nice and tight this consolidation is, and it looks like it's finally starting to break above it. So this is the point in the consolidation break where I like to really get ready to buy the stock. Now, what I need to have it do next is hold these moving averages. Once these moving averages catches up, because the stock's been going straight up for several bars, it's going to have to take a breather sooner or later. Now, if it takes a breather and it holds these moving averages and then starts to hook up again, that's usually my signal to jump in. All of this is just the initial consolidation where you're winding up, getting ready to buy it, but you have to wait for that confirmation signal for when it holds those moving averages so it can give you a higher probability that it's ready to start moving higher. And if I back out of the chart a little bit, you can see we got the next level of resistance is right here, right around $3.20. This is probably going to be the strongest area of resistance. And I'll call it 315 to 3.25. So if this thing ends up holding this moving average and starting to hook up, it could be smooth sailing all the way up to around 3.25. And that's a pretty decent move from here. That's right around a 50% move. And I'll take a 50% move any day of the week. But let's go to the weekly chart real quick and take a look at the long-term trend. Actually, let me get this line out here so we can see it just a little bit better. But we can see we had the enormous move up starting last November, and that topped out in mid-February, came all the way back down to these moving averages. Purple line is the 21-period exponential moving average. Now, this is the weekly chart, so it takes a little bit of time to finally make it back down to these moving averages. Broke that 21-period exponential moving average and jumped right back above it. So that is a great reversal signal. So this is also looking really good on the weekly time frame as well. So as far as I'm concerned, all I need is a hold on that intraday chart of these moving averages, and I think I'm going to jump into this stock. I think this one could be headed higher real soon. All right, well, the next question I want to get into is from hard-hitting Robert Witten, and he is asking about CleanSpark, ticker symbol CLSK. He's asking if I think it's a good value here. I personally do. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I've done several videos on CleanSpark, and I am a shareholder, so my opinion is a little biased here, but I do think at these levels, CleanSpark is a pretty good bargain. Now, I think could keep going down, but I do think the price is going to be higher in the future. I've been waiting for this level for quite a while, so I've been adding to my CleanSpark position quite heavily. It's got all the way down to this lower trend line. It's all the way down to this support area. And as you can see, it was kind of free falling into it. If I zoom in just a little bit closer, you can see this move. Once it broke the 200-period simple moving average, it kind of went free fall. It only took 2 days to get all the way into the 14s. But now that it's been in the 14s, it's kind of churning. This is where the support comes in. The support doesn't necessarily mean it's going to bounce that second. Sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes, it doesn't give much support at all, but you can definitely see it's been trading in the zone for about 5 days. So there are buyers in this level. I think a lot of other people are seeing this area as a great buying opportunity as well. Now, if you're not familiar with CleanSpark, they do have other sides of their business, but I do think the part of their business that is getting the most attention right now is their Bitcoin mining business. So a lot of the future expectation for CleanSpark is tied to that. So the price of Bitcoin is very important. Another thing with a stock like this, it's a fast grower, so if the stock market continues to remain weak, stocks like CleanSpark are going to have a lot of pressure. So that's another risk you have to think about with CleanSpark. Now, I personally think that this is not a top in the market yet, so I think that this is a buyable pullback, number one, and number two, I don't think Bitcoin is dead at all. I think, it's going to be very volatile. I think Bitcoin is probably going to be higher in the future, and that bodes well for CleanSpark. I believe that they're mining these coins for under $10,000 a coin, so anytime Bitcoin is hanging above 50,000 or 40,000 or higher, that's a great profit margin for these guys, and they bought more Bitcoin mining machines. They're going to be able to mine more coins in the future. Now, I am betting on that. I am betting that the market is, this pullback in the market is buyable, number one. Number two, I'm betting that Bitcoin's probably going to be higher in the future, and that is going to result in a large growing revenue stream for CleanSpark. So I think this pullback down into the lower teens is going to be a fantastic buying opportunity. Now, this is all just my opinion, but when you're asking about a stock that I own, and especially a stock that I own a pretty decent sized position in, I'm going to have some pretty good conviction. So this one might have been a little bit too easy of a question, but I do think that this area represents a pretty good buying opportunity. It could break through the support layer area, and if that does, I am going to be adding more. But I think in a couple of quarters, once Wall Street notices all the revenue that's coming in for CleanSpark, this stock is going to be much higher. All right, the next question I want to get into was from my friend Yashin. Yashin has not sent me a question in quite a while. At least I don't think. Sometimes I really have to dig for these questions, guys. Like, I'll look through my comments, and I won't see it on the first notification page, but then I click on the video to see all comments, and they'll be right there. For some reason, I don't get notified on all of the questions. But so if you guys ask a question and I don't respond to it, I try to respond to every single one of them. Just ask them again in case they, you know, slip through the cracks, because I do try to respond to every single one of your guys' questions. If you guys are going to be decent enough to take the time to write me a question, I want to be decent enough to respond to it. But he was asking about SOS Limited. Now, this one has been in free fall, and it's this kind of pattern is kind of indicative of one that kind of just fades down into the abyss just by the looks of it. Now, definitely there's going to be some bounces. What I would like to see is a sharp move up and then a hold. You know, we're kind of in that position right now where it has broken through the support area just like it did with Torchlight. Now, if we can get a fast move up back above this support area right around 385-ish, I think SOS is going to have some legs. But if a stock is in this type of pattern, I don't want to be in it. I don't want to be in a stock that is just fading down slowly like that. I want it to bounce up, bounce over support, and then start to hold it. You know, show me some signs that it's actually going to start in the uptrend. So, Yashin, I don't know if you're in this one, if you're just waiting for it. Personally, if I was in this one, I would just, if it was me, I would probably just close the position and then wait for it to do what I spoke of earlier. There's no, you know, law that says you can't re-enter a stock after you get out of it. If a stock is showing that it's probably going to continue to fade down, I'd rather protect that capital. And, you know, say if I get out of this stock today and then tomorrow it jumps to $4 and then starts to, you know, show signs that's going to start moving higher, I have no problem jumping back in at $4. And, you know, yeah, you did sell it off at 3, but you got back in at 4. But wouldn't you rather be in a stock that has a higher potential of going up, or just, you know, waiting in one that's fading down, just hoping that it's going to go up? I would rather, you know, jump in when a stock is starting to go up than hoping that it's going to come up, hoping it's going to, you know, bounce up from a lower price. Because if you have a few stocks that do that for you, you know, you're going to think that you made the right move, but over time, you're going to see when these stocks start fading down like this, most of them probably are dead in the water for a long time, and you could be using that capital to invest in other positions. So if you're not in SOS, I would wait for it to jump up above that support level and hold. If you are in SOS, I really can't. I really don't like to tell you guys what to do, but if I was in SOS, I would personally probably just like close the position out and wait for it to show me some more signs of life. Now, Yashim's also asking about EBON. EBON is kind of in the same little fade down. Now, this one looks like it's trying to carve out a bottom right now. So if I jump to the minute chart, you can see it's doing that pattern that I was talking about. You know, it's kind of fading down, makes a new low, and then jumps right back above the support level, and it's starting to hold. Now, this is just a 15-minute chart, so this is how it has to start first. You know, you got to start on those lower time frames before it can, you know, bleed into those larger time frames. But this one looks like it's trying to carve out a bottom right now, but you can see it made that similar pattern way back here. Broke to a new low, jumped above that support area, started to hold, but then immediately failed. That's why you got to wait for it to hold for a little bit and then start to move higher again. You want it to hold those moving averages and then break out to a new high. So it's proving to you that this is a tradable bottom. If this is not a tradable bottom, then you're kind of just gambling. But EBON is kind of in the same boat. Let me go to the weekly chart on EBON. You can see that thing is just in free fall. The MACD is continuing to pull lower. But I do think we could be headed towards a bottom in EBON, believe it or not. So I'm going to put this one on my watch list and see if this thing continues to carve out a bottom, because if we go back to the daily chart, it is definitely due for a bounce. This thing has been in free fall for quite a while. Free falls don't last forever. You know, you had this one that was in free fall, and then eventually it made a move up once it jumped above those moving averages from right around 4 1/4, and it made it to a high of about 885. So, I mean, that was a pretty decent move once it proved that it had, you know, that a floor was in and you had a tradable bottom that you could use. Now, EBON looks like it could be doing that right now, but we're going to have to wait and see for it to get above this white line, this 8-period exponential moving average. If it does that, then we could have a tradable bottom in. And when this thing goes on runs, you can see this thing can be very volatile, and it can lead to some pretty big gains. So I'm definitely going to keep EBON on my watch list and see if it can get above that 8-period exponential moving average. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions about any of these stocks, or if you have any other stocks you want me to take a look at, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, guys, and until next time, take care.